So our story starts with us going to the hospital to go into labor. We arrived on the 17th for Katie to be induced based off of the doctor recommending it to be safe for Noah. But from the beginning, things didn't go exactly as planned. The induction took a while, and it wasn't until the 19th that active labor started. And that lasted for 4 hours, but Noah just wasn't able to be born naturally. So the doctors decided that it would be necessary for a C-section for Noah's safety. We went in to have a C-section done, and Noah was delivered, but the hospital staff had concerns at that time. He wasn't responding well, and they knew that he needed some treatment pretty much from the get-go. But once he was delivered and while we were still in the operating room, Katie became non-responsive. And as everything began to get more busy and commotion in the operating room, they escorted me out. I didn't know what was happening at the time. I just knew that our son was in trouble, and that something was going really bad with Katie. And it just felt like it wasn't real, like it wasn't actually happening. And I didn't know exactly what was happening.
I was very thankful for the anesthesiologist, because he's the one that noticed that I wasn't responding anymore and that my vitals were dropping. And it turns out that I was diagnosed with an amniotic fluid embolism, which means that the amniotic fluid gets into the mother's bloodstream and she has an anaphylactic reaction, which basically shut down my body and sent me into a coma for 10 days. The hospital staff did CPR on me for 40 minutes, which is pretty rare, I would say. Most of the time they do it for 20. I was put on an ECMO machine, which is basically like artificial heart and lungs. It was doing the work for me when I couldn't do it for myself. And I was put on dialysis, which is like an artificial kidney. So they were working pretty hard to save my life. They finally got me stabilized, and they confirmed that it was an amniotic fluid embolism. I was also on a ventilator and a feeding tube while I was in the ICU. And after about 10 days, I woke up, and I was able to be transferred to the step-down unit.
In the meantime, Noah had to be taken to the NICU at a separate hospital. He had some brain swelling, and they needed to treat him for that to make sure that he didn't have a brain injury. So for 3 days, he had to be on a cooling mat to make sure that that didn't happen, and no one could hold him. It was very limited touch, and they were monitoring all of his vital signs super closely to see what was going to happen with him.
Mm-hmm. And we both had oxygen deprivation during this whole incident, and I'm so thankful that he didn't have any long-term brain injuries or anything that's getting in the way of his development. We just really want to celebrate everything that God did throughout this time. We were in the hospital. I was in the hospital for a month, and then I went to rehab for about 9 days. So in total, this was probably about a month and a half. And I'm just so thankful, because a lot of it was, they didn't know if I was going to survive, first of all, and they didn't know what kind of state I would be in if I did survive. And I'm happy to report that there are no long-term deficits. I'm fully functioning physically, cognitively. Everything is healing. So thank you to everybody that prayed. I'm convinced that I'm alive because of everybody's prayers.
We're both convinced of that. We're so grateful for people praying at the church, all the acts of kindness and service that people did for us, for our family, for getting other people in other churches to pray. You know, it's a powerful tool in the believer's belt, and I'm convinced too that it was through those prayers that God acted to not just save both of your lives, but to bring you back whole and restore you whole. And on the other side of that, like, we really want this to be known to people so that God's name can be known. He performed a miracle, and that's not just our words, it's the words of so many hospital staff workers, so many medical professionals saying that this is a medical miracle, and we want people to know who did that miracle, because it wasn't just something that happened. There's a person, a real God who acted on our behalf, and we want people to know that so that they would know him. And as we continue to move past this, that's what we really want for God to use this, for his name to be made known, and for him to be glorified in all of that.
And I think I want people to know about his kindness, because this was a pretty traumatic event, but he's been so good to us through it. It could have ended so much worse. There could have been so many more issues, but like you said, he's just restored us back to wholeness.
Yeah. And now we're home, and now we're getting into that regular, normal life that we were looking forward to for so long.